If you've ever wondered how to turn your dreams into reality, you're in for a treat. Today, we're interviewing renowned manifestation coach and thought leader, Matt Cooke. Welcome to the Inspiring Innovators Show, your go-to podcast for powerful tools, actionable trainings, and inspiring stories to elevate your life and grow your business. Catch all our solo episodes and interviews at inspiringshow.com. We're your hosts, Paul and Jennifer Henczel. Now, after nearly a decade in real estate, Matt Cooke took a transformative leap to launch his successful digital marketing business before fully dedicating himself to the art and science of manifestation. Matt has a large global audience and brings a unique blend of wisdom, science, empathy, and practical insight to his work. At the heart of Matt's mission is a profound desire to connect deeply with spiritual seekers and like-minded souls. He believes in the power of authentic relationships and the magic that happens when people come together to support one another in manifesting their best lives. He lives with his wife, Corisande, and their son, Humphrey, in Cornwall, United Kingdom.
And we know Matt because he has transformed our lives. We've taken Matt's Evolve program and we highly recommend it. And so welcome to the show, Matt Cooke.
Oh, thank you both. That was such a lovely introduction. Thank you for that. It's great to be here.
Congratulations on your new baby.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. He's 3 months old already. Bless him. So it's just amazing. Thank you.
Now, Matt, we listen to your guided meditations and watch your social media clips every morning. You explain this topic of manifestation in such a relatable way. Can you explain or give your definition of manifestation for our audience?
Sure, of course. Manifestation, very, very simply, is the deliberate act of bringing something that you desire into your physical world. Very simply. And that involves numerous things. It involves your thoughts, how you feel, and how you act, very simply. And those three things, thinking, feeling, and acting, are what we could associate as our personality. So it's really who we are in the present moment, which dictates what we attract into our life. So in a nutshell, whoever's listening, if there's something that you want in your life, a dream, a vision, that's manifestation, bringing that dream into your physical world.
Oh, that's so amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about manifestation and the quantum field? Because you explain that so well.
Yeah, sure. So let me just back up slightly for a moment to give this more context. So and a lot of people might already know this if they've already been following me, but for anyone who's hearing me for the first time, I didn't become a manifestation coach. It happened by accident. You know, I wasn't spiritual at all. I was for 10 years here in England in real estate. And then as Paul was explaining in the introduction, I transitioned out into digital marketing because I very simply just wanted to get out of the rat race. So I then transitioned to digital marketing, which was really similar-ish to real estate. It just gave me a way to earn money on the internet. But at the same time, I was just sort of battling with my purpose in life and who I was and what I was here to do. And I was just unfulfilled. And a lot of people know this who followed my story. This was back in early part of 2019. In 2017, July 2017, my mum passed away. And in February 2019, had an extraordinary spiritual experience where one evening I connected with my mother. Out of the blue. I didn't predict it, didn't try for it to happen, had a very strange, utterly bodily experience where I had a conversation with her. And it's safe to say it blew my mind because I wasn't spiritual. I didn't believe in the afterlife. I wanted to, but I didn't. And I came out of that experience needing to know what happened, how I could connect with her again. And actually, the bigger question was, there's more to reality than meets our eye. So on my mission to try and solve and figure out the type of person I am, these big questions, I very, very simply first understood something very important, that scientifically, everything is energy. And we don't necessarily know that because everything seems relatively hard and physical, the things we touch, the life we live. But actually, if we break everything down to its purest form, we get to energy. And energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only transition to another form of existence, another realm of reality, if you like, another vibration. And actually diving further still into, the quantum aspect, quantum mechanics, we only perceive about 0.0035% of reality. The majority of reality is empty space, invisible fields of energy. So just bringing this back to your question, Jennifer, it made me understand how I connected with my mother. Because yes, the physical aspect of her is gone, but what I spoke with never goes, because energy can't ever be destroyed. It can only transition to another frequency. And everyone is experiencing this day to day. Everyone right now is listening, has radio waves coming through their room, for example, broadband, Wi-Fi. We just don't see it. But if we tune ourselves in, we pick up different information. So I needed to know what this realm was. Where is this energy? Where is it coming from? This 99.9% of reality, what is it? And that's where we get down to the quantum realm. If we break down anything physical in our world down to its purest form, we get to atoms, then we get to subatomic particles. And then if we try and understand where these subatomic particles come from, electrons, photons, for example, they pop in and out of existence through unifying fields, quantum fields. And then that's what really interested me. And then we start going into the quantum mechanics and sort of your question. So what fascinated me about the quantum field is that there is an infinite amount of energy there. Now, if we think of energy, well, energy is always in a state of movement. The primary law of the universe is the law of vibration, which dictates that energy always vibrates. That movement of vibration has a frequency, and frequency is rich in information. Just like tuning into a vibrational frequency of a radio station, you tune into the frequency, you pick up the information being the channel. So that was very easy for me to understand that, okay, if the quantum field's infinite, there's an infinite amount of energy, we're energy, everything else is energy, then maybe I can tap into that to manifest. And then at the same time, I'm starting to read books like The Secret and Dr. Joe Dispenza and Neville Goddard and all these amazing spiritual teachers. And I start applying it, and I start figuring out that actually this works. I can manifest things into my life, and I can go deeper still if you like, but there's a very specific way to manifest from the quantum. But if that answered your question.
Yeah, I loved it when you talked about observing, and that's really helped us. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So, okay. I mentioned the foundation really of physical reality are atoms. Everything's made from atoms. But atoms are 99.9% invisible fields of energy. The fraction of an atom that's physical is the subatomic particle, which is the electron or the photon. Now, that itself is what's really interesting because, like I mentioned, it doesn't live as a localized piece of matter until it's observed. So when it's not being observed, the subatomic particle disappears. It merges back with quantum fields. And it's called wave function collapse, or the observer effect in quantum mechanics, which dictates that when consciousness, whether it's a detector, a piece of equipment, or even a scientist's own observation, looks at subatomic particles, they pop in and out of existence. It's called wave function collapse. The wave being the energy of the quantum field, and the particle being this subatomic particle. When it's not being observed, it disappears back into that infinite field of energy. But when it is being observed, it collapses from a wave into physical reality. And that's called the wave function collapse, or better said, the observer effect. So what's fascinating about that is we are observers, but we're not aware of our observation because 95% of who we are is subconsciously programmed. So most people's dominant observation of their reality is programmed subconsciously. So people are unaware of how much they moan, how much they allow their limiting beliefs to take over, how much people complain and talk badly about themselves. And only 5% of who we are is conscious. So if we're not conscious of our own conscious programs, we could say then, as we're energy, our dominant observation is unconscious. So how many times do we hear people say that, I keep attracting the same things into my life, the same problems, the same relationships? It's because they are collapsing the wave. They are literally manifesting unwanted outcomes because that is what they're observing. The moment someone changes their observation and they get a grip over their programs and they go, no, I'm not going to think negatively anymore. No, I do believe in myself. And, I can invite magic in, and I am open to opportunities, and I can do this. And they mentally rehearse a future. Then what they're really doing is switching their observation. So as they switch their observation, they collapse the wave towards the outcomes that they desire. And then they start seeing conscious intentions come to life instead of unconscious intentions. And that's the observer.
Oh, I love that so much. Such powerful insights. We suddenly have the sun coming in a strange way through the
don't worry.
So we're just going to close the blinds there. But we're just so excited to talk with you about all these topics, and gratitude too. I love how you talk about gratitude. Can you chat about that for a second?
Yeah. What is gratitude? It's a state of having something. If you think of Christmas, someone hands you a gift, you say thank you. It's an emotion, it's a feeling that we associate with having something, with receiving something. But most people, when they're practicing gratitude in manifestation, are only grateful for what's in their life. Fine. That's how we use gratitude. Most people aren't saying thank you to the things that they desire before it's made manifest. So what happens there is they're living in lack. They're waiting for something that they desire to unfold to say thank you. So it's not how it works. You have to shift to being thankful for the thing that you seek now. Now, people will go, but that's delusional. That's delusional to say thank you to something that doesn't exist. Well, it does, actually, because if in the quantum field there's an infinite amount of energy, what you desire already exists. So it's not delusional. By saying thank you now, you become the observer for already having it already. And therefore, you speed up that process. And that's why you'll hear me say the universe always says yes. It can be no other way. If you want more money, the universe will say yes. And you'll continue manifesting more wanting of money. If you want a relationship, the universe will say yes. And you'll continue wanting a relationship. But when you say, I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful, I'm so blessed for all the abundance in my life, the universe says yes. It gives you more abundance because you only attract into your life what you are. So that is how you use gratitude in a way. And I personally write down 5 things I'm grateful for every day. And a combination are the things that are already in my life that I want to be grateful for, of course, like my wife and my son, but also things that are manifesting as if they're already in my life.
Wow, that is just so compelling. So could you share like a real life success story where someone used manifestation techniques to reach like an outcome that they really desired?
Sure. It's actually interesting because I was just on a call with this person, and I've included in my upcoming book because it is a great story. So I have a client called Bobby, and he's building a huge AI business to tackle data decay in the healthcare industry. And I've been working with him for a couple of years. So quite a few of my clients stay on because manifestation is a journey, not a destination. You manifest one thing and then there's always something else, And back in 2023, he was on the brink of collapse, actually, with this business. He needed to raise 250K in a week. Otherwise, the business was going under. And as you can imagine, he was stressed, pale, anxious. He had at home a wife, 2 kids, and a 3rd child on the way, all under the age of 3. So he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And I said to him, well, close your eyes and can you visualize an outcome of this problem being solved, and he did, and he visualized, raising this 250K and being able to meet sort of payroll and everything else. And we came up with this idea that he needed to embody his Super Bobby persona. So he had to become the version of himself in the future now in order to attract that into his life. And that's what he did. He went away, and I actually lost contact with him for a month. He went away and he visualized in meditation raising this capital. And he would do that in meditation, because that's what we should do. We should slow down our brainwaves and visualize our future. And after a month, we had another call, and he blew me away. He said, "Matt, I haven't just raised 250K, I raised him just under $1 million in 4 weeks from the most unexpected sources, out of the blue." And it saved his company, and his company's gone on to do incredible things. And I could share so many stories, but I think that there is such a great story, because he was under a deadline. He had a week. So many of us want things to manifest in a certain time frame, but I don't think many of us have like these really strict, some of us do, deadlines. And I think when we have these deadlines and these timescales, it creates even more pressure. It becomes even harder to embody like a super persona. So that was a great story of how he did it, especially in terms of where the sources of capital came from, which were completely unknown and out of the blue. And that's the magic.
Yeah, that's just great. Like, I also used your letter writing exercise to the universe. And just 2 days later, what seemed impossible at the time, at the exact moment I was writing the letter, it manifested. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, it's truly incredible. And in my experience, it will always manifest. The problem is, so many of us allow our ego mind to get in the way. And if it doesn't manifest in a timescale that we want, we can sabotage our own efforts. And then going back to the observer effect, it might already be on its way, but if it's not happening when we want it to, and we then switch how we start thinking, feeling, and acting, what we actually do is start manifesting the opposite. And we cancel out what we've already been doing. So, yeah, great story.
Yeah, it's just kind of like learning to like expect the unexpected, because so many times it comes in ways or forms that you would just least expect.
Yeah. Well, we're manifesting from if we get beyond ourselves, if we get beyond physical reality, if we start trusting in the magic of the infinite, the unknown, and it is an empty space. It's an unknown space. We're from the quantum, but we don't live in it consciously day to day. So, if we start trusting in the unknown, we better get ready for the fact that it's probably going to come out of nowhere in the most unknown, unexpected way, and that's what we should all do, lean into the unknown more.
Yeah, for sure. So for our listeners, do you have like a simple manifestation exercise that people can do to start reprogramming their brain now?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would say is you've got to become conscious first of your programs. So when you slow down, day to day we operate in what's called beta brainwaves. The storehouse of our programs are what's known as our subconscious, and that operates within the slower brainwaves of alpha, theta, and delta. And those brainwaves we access naturally when we slow down and we rest and we sleep. But if we can start to meditate, we can listen to what our programs say about who we are and what we think about ourselves. And actually, we can start to become conscious of our observation. And I think that is where people need to start. So I would say, yes, go and do a guided meditation, of course. But actually, it could be as simple as putting a timer on your phone for 20 minutes, half an hour, even having some soft music behind, and just becoming aware of what you observe. Because the truth is, and I always do this exercise on a podcast, but I think it's really powerful to highlight, we're not our thoughts. We're the awareness above. So if I ask you two to do this, you've probably already done it if you've done my Evolve course, but we'll do it again. If I ask you both to close your eyes right now, and if anyone's listening to do the same, if you're driving, don't, of course. If you close your eyes and you say inside your head, not out loud, just say the word hello 5 times. And once you've said it 5 times, shout it as loud as you can in your head five more times. Once you've done that, open your eyes. I would then say, what did you hear? Did you hear the word hello? And you might have heard the word hello, or you may have seen the words hello as you did that exercise. My question would be, who heard it? Right, or who saw it? And people go, well, I did. Well, who's I? And you go, well, Jennifer, Paul. No. Those are the labels you were given when you were born. Who heard it? Me. Well, no, who heard it? Who heard it is the awareness, the consciousness, the observer. The hello is just a thought. It's just a word. So when we label ourselves, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved, I'm not good enough, never got any money. It's just a thought. It's just a word. It's not who we are. Who we are is pure awareness. So when we realize the separation between thoughts and who we are truly, then we get our power back. We can reframe our thoughts. And that's what's really powerful, because it starts there. And then what happens is this: the more you do this work, manifestation becomes really fun and really easy, because you start manifesting without really trying. And you start manifesting outcomes in your life. You're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And I wasn't even trying, because your programs are now so aligned with positivity and magic that becomes your dominant observation of reality. And you just can't help but collapse it into fruition. And that's what's so good about doing this work. You know, we're always manifesting, whether we know it consciously or not. It's not magic. My goal is just to help the people that are unconsciously manifesting become conscious.
Oh, that's so fascinating. You know, we love looking at your Instagram clips that you put out each day. You explain things so well in such a concise yet powerful way. I hope people check out your Instagram. We'll put the link to it in the show notes. But, you know, is there anything else you'd like to share about manifesting?
Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, you know, I spoke about the power of observation. Whenever I work with a client, that is where to start. My core message actually is wanting equals lack. It's a paradox. Most people want something in their life. And of course, it's the place to start with manifestation. We have to know what we want. But most people get stuck there. They live in the lack. They live in the want. They're waiting for the outcome to manifest before they feel relieved and before they feel grateful. And so wanting vibrates at a frequency of haven't got, lack. So we've got to really become our manifestations. And then again, people go, but how do I act like I've got money when I haven't? You know, how do I act like I'm in love when I'm not? We've got to stop waiting for things outside of us to give permission. Because the truth is, and if I could give your listeners any advice here, is just make sure every day you're defined by your future. Through meditation, through scripting, through daydreaming. Because when we can slow down our brain, the subconscious body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And a great analogy of that is everyone's experienced a nightmare. When we have a nightmare, we're normally in bed, safe, warm, protected from the elements of the outside. Yet, think about it. When we wake up in that very moment, our body reacts emotionally as if that nightmare's real. Heart's racing, sweaty, and then we calm ourselves down and we go, it was a dream. And in fact, only a month or so ago, you know, Humphrey, my new baby boy, he's in the cot next to my wife. Of course, you know, every time he cries, he has to come out the cot. And I woke up at 3 a.m. in an absolute panic that for some reason I thought that he'd got lost in the duvet. And for honestly 5 seconds, I panicked, sheer panic, trying to throw the cushions on the floor and try and look for him. And even Coruscant, my wife, like panicked. And then as I came about, I was like, well, no, he's fine. He's in the cot. And it's because in that moment, in sleep, I was in theta. And in theta, it's known as the hypnotic state. If you ever go and have hypnotherapy or regression, they regress you to theta, because in theta, you're highly suggestible. You don't know the difference. When we have nightmares, we're in theta. We don't know the difference. So my question is, why would you not put yourself in theta every day if you can, or at least alpha, and visualize your future? Because your body will feel like it's happening in real time. It will believe it. So it's not faking it till you make it. It's feeling it till you make it.
Oh, that's so good. Your teachings have been such a game changer to us. And, the nice thing, we've followed you for a few years now, and we've seen how you actually practice what you preach. You walk your talk, and you've seen it. We can see it in your life, how you've manifested things and how you're using your own teachings to improve your life and manifest things into your own life. So, we've taken your Evolve program.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love for our audience to know a little bit about that. Can you talk about your Evolve program and where people can find it?
Yeah, of course. The simple way to find it is just going to my website, mattcooke.me. And if you go on like my menu and products, you'll be able to see my Evolve course. It's a very comprehensive but simple 8-hour manifestation course where it can be consumed on the go. It's not long-winded. There's no like hour-long videos. They're normally like bite-sized, 10, 15 minutes. I take you sequentially through a process of how it works. And my goal is that by the time you do the 4 core modules, you come out knowing, okay, this is how it works and these are the tools and this is what I've got to do. Included in the course also is a bonus module where I've started adding new content to, like exploring even deeper concepts of manifestation, as well as some guided meditations in there as well. So there's the library of guided meditations that are mine that people can listen to. And I slow you down to alpha and theta brainwaves. There's a way to do that. And then I get you to mentally rehearse or visualize your future. And that's the course.
We love your guided meditations. We love them. We use them every day. We subscribe and we've paid for other programs, but yours is the best. And we've taken some from some pretty famous people, but yours is our favorite and your meditations are our favorite. And I love the additional trainings you just added. You added something about vision boards, and it was the most unique training about vision boards. I just loved it. And we watched that. So that was amazing. So, and also we heard you're having a retreat in New York. We're in Canada. We're on the west coast of Canada. You're all the way in the UK. So New York is a nice central place for people to connect with you. So tell us about your retreat coming up.
Yeah, thank you. So the Omega Institute reached out and they asked me to host a workshop the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August this year, 2025. Some of the biggest spiritual teachers have spoken there. There's a Ram Dass library, and I feel very honored to be speaking there. So it's in Rhinebeck, which is about 90 minutes outside of Manhattan, I believe. 250-acre estate. It sounds amazing. There's other workshops that happen there at the same time, I think all the time. And you can stay on site in different cabins and you can camp there. And it's a really cool experience. My workshop is over 3 days. So Friday evening, all of Saturday and half of Sunday. And my goal really is just to help everyone understand how they can consciously create, diving deeper into the concepts that I've shared in this half-an-hour conversation, and going really, really deep, getting really clear on what it is that we want, getting deep on the unified field, the multiverse, the quantum field, how we can meditate, the different ways to meditate, how to practice gratitude, how to do affirmations, because everyone's affirming whether they know it or not. Most people are unconsciously going, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved. That's an affirmation. So how we can do it. And that's it. Just connecting with like-minded people, as Paul read in my introduction, to create magic.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Inspiring Show. And you can find all the links and resources from today's episode at inspiringshow.com. And if you enjoyed our show today, we'd love it if you could leave us a positive rating or review on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube. It helps us to reach and inspire more listeners just like you. Our names again are Paul and Jennifer Henczel. And thank you so much for being with us, Matt Cooke. Until next time.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye.